On the morning of June 25, 2009, the world was just waking up. But inside a rented mansion in Los Angeles, time was about to stand still for the man who had once taught the world how to dance. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was preparing for a comeback that felt almost mythical. After years away from the spotlight, he was deep in rehearsals for This Is It, a massive concert series meant to reclaim his throne and remind everyone who he really was. Not the man in the headlines, not the figure in the rumors, but the artist, the performer, the genius. Behind the scenes, however, a silent battle was being waged. Michael wasn't sleeping night after night. The man who could command entire stadiums lay awake, haunted by a relentless insomnia. This wasn't new. It had followed him for years. But the pressure of the upcoming shows, the weight of global expectations, and a body exhausted by decades of unparalleled performance had made it unbearable. Sleep, for Michael, had become a distant dream, something unreachable, like a perfect melody just out of his grasp. Desperate for rest, he turned to medical help. And this is where the story takes its tragic turn. Dr. Conrad Murray, a cardiologist, was hired to monitor Michael's health throughout the grueling rehearsal schedule. What started as professional medical care slowly morphed into something far more dangerous. To combat the severe insomnia, an arsenal of powerful medications was used. The most potent among them was propofol, an anesthetic so strong it's typically only used in hospitals to sedate patients for surgery. It was never designed for home use, and certainly never as a sleep aid. But for Michael, propofol became the only escape. He reportedly called it his milk, the one thing that could finally deliver the oblivion of sleep he so desperately craved. On that final morning, a lethal combination of propofol and other sedatives was administered. His breathing began to slow, his heart weakened, and quietly, the rhythm that had changed music forever started to fade away. The man who had given the world a moonwalk was slipping away in the stillness of his room. Panic erupted. Paramedics were called, racing to the mansion. They found him without a pulse, not breathing. For over an hour, they and the emergency room doctors at UCLA Medical Center fought desperately to revive him, to bring back the spark. But it was too late. At 2:26 p.m., Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was pronounced dead. He was only 50 years old. The news hit the world like a sonic boom. Shock, disbelief, and a tidal wave of grief swept across the globe. Fans gathered in vigils outside the hospital, his childhood home in Garia, Indiana, and landmarks worldwide. Radios stopped their regular programming to play his music on a continuous loop. Dancers, from Times Square to the streets of Paris, gathered in flash mobs, moving in unison to Beat It and Thriller, grieving the only way they knew how through the language he had given them. The investigation that followed painted a grim picture. The Los Angeles County coroner ruled his death a homicide. The cause was acute propofol intoxication, compounded by the effects of other sedatives. The focus quickly turned to Dr. Conrad Murray. In 2011, after a highly publicized trial, he was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The court concluded he had acted with gross negligence, administering the dangerous anesthetic without the proper medical equipment or safeguards, ultimately leading to Michael's death. Michael Jackson's final curtain call was not the result of one single mistake. It was the tragic climax of immense pressure, chronic exhaustion, misplaced trust, and a medical system that failed to protect a uniquely gifted yet vulnerable soul. But even in death, his voice was never silenced. His music still fills the airwaves. His innovative dance moves are still imitated by artists on every continent. And his influence continues to shape the landscape of pop culture. The king of pop didn't just leave a legacy, he left an echo that reverberates through time. His heart may have stopped, but as the world soon realized, his beat goes on. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by this story, please like and subscribe for more.